Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I am going to attempt to create the adjustable support, yeah, that one, using AutoCAD, and I have AutoCAD 2021 version. So depending on what you have, it may be a little bit different, but probably not. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna start a brand new drawing, and I'm gonna go under my templates here. I'm gonna click this little down pointy arrow. I'm gonna use the acad.dwt drawing template. And then first thing that I want to do is I'm going to set up my units. So I'm going to type in units. I want to make sure that I'm in decimal units. I'm going to change my precision to 0.00. And then I think everything else is okay. Yeah, and we're going to stay in inches here because it says, unless otherwise specified, dimensions are in inches. So, okay, we'll go with that. I'm gonna hit okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a layer. So I don't wanna draw on layer 0. I'm gonna go up to layer properties and I'm gonna create a new layer. Hit this little button here with a yellow starburst thingy. And I'm gonna change the name of this to like object. Just make it all capitals. I'm gonna change the color to, I like red. Red's a good color for me. The line weight, we can make this like 0.3 millimeters. And then I'm going to hit the stack of papers with a check mark to make that our current layer. And I think everything else is okay. So I'm gonna hit the X here to close out of this dialog box. And now I can begin kind of setting up this drawing. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the two concentric circles on the left. So it really doesn't matter where you start, but maybe it's good to get into the habit of starting at 0, 0. So I'm going to go up to where you see circle. And then since we're given the diameters of those circles, I'm going to click on the center diameter option. And then for my center point, I'm going to just type in 0, 0. Press enter. Let me pan over here a little bit. So then the diameter of the circle is going to be, I'm going to do the smaller one first. So that has a diameter of 1. Just going to type in 1, press enter. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to make another circle with the diameter, and I'm going to click on the center of the circle. So if you don't see that little green circle pop up, go over to your object snaps and just make sure you have center selected. Also make sure you have endpoint selected because we're going to need that in a minute. I think all the other ones are fine. So that's probably all you need is endpoint and center checked. Yeah, so I'm gonna click out of this. All right, so I'm gonna start a circle, center, diameter. My center is here, I'm gonna drag it out. This is gonna be a diameter of 2. And let me pan out a little bit or zoom out a little bit. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my grid off because that annoys me. Turn that grid off like that. And then, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line from the center of those two circles straight over to the right. So if you notice, I'm kind of at an angle. To make sure I get this perfectly horizontal, I'm gonna click on my, what is this called? Oh yeah, the ortho mode. So now I can drag it over to the right. That's gonna be 3. So I'm gonna type in 3. Hit the escape key. I'm gonna draw another line from the same center point here. This time I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna type in at 3. And then I want to do the less than 40. So that's gonna be a line that's 3 units long at a 40-degree angle. I'm gonna press enter. And hit the escape key. So there's those two. The reason I did that is that's going to determine where the center lines of these, the center lines of these other circles are going to be located. So I'm given the radius of those circles. So I'm going to go circle, radius. I'm going to select the endpoint of this line as my center and drag it out. So the radius of the first one is going to be 0.5. I'm going to do another circle radius, Same center, that's going to have a radius of 1. And then I could either do that again for these this angled line, or I could just do copy. I'm going to copy these 2 circles here, press enter. My base point of this copy is going to be the endpoint of this line. And I'm going to copy it to the endpoint of this line. Press escape. So there's our kind of our circles are set up. So next thing we need to do is we're going to create the arcs that kind of creates the shape of this object. So to help make this shape, I'm going to create this first arc first. So instead of using the arc command, I'm going to go under the circle, and I'm going to look for the tangent radius option. So I'm going to click the tangent of this circle. So I want to make sure that I select a spot on the circle that's kind of out over here somewhere. You don't want to do it inside, because then that's going to create an arc going the way that we don't want. So I'm going to pick a point over here on this circle. I'm going to pick a point on the other side of this circle here somewhere. And then for the radius, I'm going to type in 5. So you can kind of see it creates that all the way around. But I don't need all the way around. I just need this little part. So I'm going to go to trim. I'm going to select somewhere on the circle over here to trim that piece out. So there's our arc, our first one. And I'm just going to do the same thing for the other ones. So for this one down here on the bottom, I'm going to go click my circle option, tangent radius. This time I'm going to select kind of inside the circle on this side. So somewhere on this side here, somewhere over here on this circle. And then my radius is going to be 3. And again, I don't need that entire circle. So I'm going to trim out this. And we're moving right along. So then for the outside border over here, same thing, circle, tangent radius. I'm going to select kind of a point on top here, the circle. Select somewhere on the bottom. And then that's going to be, that's 4. And again, I don't need that whole entire thing. I'm just going to trim this out. And then we have our outer shape going on there. So then there's a couple things I could do to kind of finish this off, but I think the easiest thing to do is I'm going to use the offset tool. So I'm going to offset. And for my offset distance, I'm going to type in 0.5. And I'm going to select this arc here. And I'm going to offset it to the left. I'm going to select this to the left. Select this, offset to the left. Select one more time. Select it to the left. Now this one I don't need, so I'm just going to erase this. Usually I just type in E for erase. Enter. I don't need that center one. I also don't need these over here, if I'm being honest, and I try to be. So get rid of those. And then I'm just going to trim out the stuff that I don't need here. So I'm going to trim out this, and this, and this, that. I don't need this. I don't need that. So there's our shape for our adjustable support. So we don't need to go in and put the dimensions on there. I mean, if you want to get really fancy, you could go up to annotate and go to center mark and then select the outside circles of each one of these. 1, 2, 3. I would probably put those on a different layer. Let me go ahead and do that. That should probably be on, not the object layer, but maybe go to a new layer, name it center mark, or just center. You can just name it center. Probably make this not red. It should be something a little lighter. So maybe this, one of these gray colors, 8 or 9. I like 8. It wouldn't, the line weight of that wouldn't be 0.3. It would be something like maybe 0.15. I don't need to make that the current layer, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this box. I'm just going to select these center marks, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go up to object here and click on center, and it changes the layers for me. So there's our completed adjustable support. So just make sure you go to different ways to save it. File, save. You can just type in adjustable, if I can spell. Adjustable support. Yep, make sure you save as a drawing and hit save. And there we go. We're good to go for that one. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.